Good morning or good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Hudson River Park's Gansevoort Peninsula. At 5.5 acres, it's the largest standalone area within our overall 4-mile footprint, and we are beyond happy to have you here today with us for its opening celebration. And after what feels like a month of nothing but rain, I am happy to say that today is beach weather. It is my tremendous honor to welcome and thank our incredible governor, Kathy Hochul, and we appreciate you so much for being here with us today, Governor. Thank you. And while Mayor Adams couldn't be here with us in person, we thank his Deputy Mayor for Operations, Mira, who also happens to be the Trust's Vice Chair, for being here, as well as Manhattan Borough President Mark Levine, and we appreciate him too. 25 years ago, Hudson River Park was a big dream, and Gansevoort was an even bigger one, because at the time, it was a large and active sanitation facility, hosting trucks, salt storage, and towering smokestacks that were once used to burn trash. A New York state law called the Hudson River Park Act, signed 25 years ago in September 1998, made today's alternative reality possible. The Act created the Hudson River Park Trust and Hudson River Park as an equal partnership between New York State and New York City, and the Gansevoort Peninsula epitomizes that partnership. Although the land beneath our collective feet is owned by New York State, we owe our thanks to New York City for paying for this section of the park. Thank you, Mayor Adams. And a few miles up the road, and also opening very soon, the exact opposite is happening at Pier 97, improving city land with state funding. And we thank you, Governor Hochul. Since our inception, Hudson River Park's Board of Directors has worked with staff to ensure that both design and operations meet the high standards established in our enabling statute. Please join me in thanking our board members, including those who are here today. Commissioner Sue Donahue of the New York City Parks Department, Rose Harvey, Ida Arwede, Pam Frederick. And there may be a few others that I've missed, and I'm sorry if so. Pam Frederick. I'd also like to acknowledge some colleagues with whom we work especially closely at government, including John O'Leary and Matt McMorrow at the Governor's Office, James Archer, Yating Liu, and Olivia Arno at the Mayor's Office, Patrick Foster at the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, Leslie Wright at New York State Parks, and Sarah Nielsen at New York City Parks, and Jeffrey Lefrancois of the Meatpacking Business Improvement District. We are grateful to them and to the dozen other governmental agencies at the federal, state, and city levels that are also part of today's success, helping conceive and permit habitat enhancements, build new crosswalks, interpret history, and thousands of other details that make this space succeed. The extraordinary Madeline Wills, the Trust's longtime president and CEO for nearly a decade, also deserves to be recognized for the passion that she poured into this project from the outset. Madeline couldn't be here today, but I know she'd be proud of what her vision and exacting design eye helped achieve. Our design team has been incredible. In 2019, the Trust selected field operations to lead a team of 17 firms to design and engineer this area. I unfortunately can't list everyone who participated by name today, but would especially like to thank and acknowledge James Corner, Lisa Switkin, Karen Tamir, Sanjuta Sen, Cricket Day, and Eric Becker from Field Operations, and Mimi Huang from N Architects for their creative genius and technical prowess. Their job wasn't easy. New Yorkers, we all know, have opinions about just about everything, so it's no surprise that when the time came for the Trust and the design team to start meeting with our community about what kind of park they hope to have at Gansevoort, we heard some wildly divergent opinions. There was polite but dueling support for a large sports field versus habitat features, and of course, a lot of views about the beach. Large as Gansevoort is, it didn't seem like there was room for everything, or so it seemed. But somehow, together with our community and our design team, they figured it out. Today, the Gansevoort Peninsula provides a large sandy beach and grass zones for lounging, play, and sunbathing, boardwalks, direct access to the Hudson River for non-motorized boats, a sports field, adult fitness area, dog run, a salt marsh, and even 20 million oysters. New York's bravest fire department, Marine Company 1, are also an essential part of this place, and I would like to thank them publicly for putting up with a whole lot of construction disturbance over the last 2 years with exceptional patience. Thanks also to the outstanding construction firms who worked to build this park area: Stephen Dubner Landscaping, J.R. Cruz, EJ Electric, Trevcon, Padilla Construction Services, Interphase Electric, Eastern Plumbing, and CDE Air Conditioning. And we also thank and appreciate the dedicated contributions of our construction manager, Gilbane Building Company with Invictus, and in particular, Keith Newscheller, Corey Bedford, Toye Omanyi, and Yang Shi. Collectively, the jobs of Gilbane and our contractors have been anything but easy. They've worked through regulatory requirements requiring precise operations within the tidal Hudson River. They've kept 24/7 access to the fire department and the adjacent bikeway, and they've worked through rain and more rain. And we appreciate your show of appreciation for all of them. Hudson River Park owes so much to the elected officials who represented the park, and we are honored to welcome Congressman Gerald Nadler, New York State Senator Brad Hoylman-Siegel, Assemblymember Tony Simone, and Councilmember Eric Botcher for being here today with us, as well as representatives from Congressman Dan Goldman and Assemblymember Deborah Glick. We thank them for always being willing to lend their support on issues large and small all year, every year. Hudson River Park would never have been built without them, and our community boards, our environmental advocates, and the countless others who fought for and advocated for the park for decades. For Gansevoort specifically, I would like to thank Manhattan Community Board 2 and the leaders there who worked with us closely to envision this space. In particular, thank you to Chair Susan Kent and the members of the Waterfront Committee, including co-chairs Rich Cacapolo and Susanna Aaron, and Daniel Miller, who currently also chairs the park's dedicated advisory council. Together, the volunteers appointed to Community Board 2 and the Advisory Council have spent hundreds of hours over the decades working with us at the Trust to make Hudson River Park ever better. Hudson River Park has a special partnership with Hudson River Park Friends, an independent organization dedicated to the completion, care, and enhancement of Hudson River Park. Over the decades, Friends has raised millions of dollars for the park's construction and operations, while also organizing thousands of volunteers to help make sure we stay looking good. An earlier generation of Friends spurred relocation of the sanitation uses formerly located at both Gansevoort and Pier 97 and secured critical funding that advanced construction in both locations. Friends also curated the wonderful photo exhibit that you'll find near the Esplanade that shows the transformation of this space and the park. I hope you'll take a look at it. There's another star at Gansevoort that also deserves acknowledgement, the Day's End sculpture by David Hammonds, gifted to Hudson River Park and the people of New York by the Whitney Museum of American Art. Please join me in acknowledging and thanking the Whitney Museum and their donors for their generosity. And most especially, I'd like to acknowledge the force of nature named Adam Weinberg, the Whitney's longtime director, who really made it possible, and welcome Scott Rothkopf, our newest partner. And last, would all the members of Hudson River Park staff, past and present, please wave your hands for a second so that you can be acknowledged. Don't be shy. There's more of them somewhere back there. Wave high. Each of you, and I do mean each of you, contributed to making today possible. But you're also there making sure Hudson River Park is beautiful and healthy and forward-looking every single day. And for that, you deserve to be celebrated. And within our constellation of talent, there are two people who just have to be named today. Kevin Quinn is our Senior Vice President of Design and Construction, and Tom Adams is the Senior Project Manager for Gansevoort. Together, they sweated every design and construction detail with our consultant and contractor teams, and they did it exceptionally through all kinds of unexpected challenges. Thank you for giving them the support they deserve. And now it's my tremendous honor to welcome New York State's amazing governor, Kathy Hochul. Over the last couple of years, she has prioritized open space, climate innovation. Now, you don't want to do that?
That's
okay.
all right. Let's get this party started. Thank you, Noreen. You can look it up on ChatGPT, although half it's a lie. I will take today as Mother Nature seeking forgiveness for Friday. Okay, we'll give you a break, Mother Nature. Just don't do it again. Next time I come back here, sandals and a beach ball. Okay, that'll be me. I'll have a baseball cap on, ponytail. You will not know it's me, but I'll be having the best time of anybody. This day, this place reminds me why New Yorkers are so exceptional. This is a place. All of our places are incredible, but it's the people who have the vision to bring this to reality that I'm constantly in awe of. This is so New York, to take a place that had been abandoned and overlooked and forgotten and, my God, and turn it into a gathering place for people from around the world to walk, to stroll, to bring their dogs, to kick a soccer ball, play in the sand, wonder about the 20 million oysters? How many oysters? 20 million oysters. Okay, we can talk about meeting 20 million oysters. But it's also, you need to sit here and reflect on this city from this vantage point. Look over my shoulder. No, not at New Jersey. Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty is right there. Freedom Tower. These are the places that remind us what New York is all about, who we are as a people, especially in times when those values are tested, like right now. But this is a reminder that we stand on the shoulders of so many people who had a vision for this place, but never were around long enough to see it realized. This is the largest park built in New York City since Central Park back in 1869. Someone will correct me on that, but around that time. But I can give you the history. Noreen already did. It was beautiful. But as we think about the history, let's think about the future. Let's think about the generations of young people who grow up here always thinking it was like this, never knowing the before and the after. But that's all right. We are all the beneficiaries of those who came before and imagined the greatest city right here on this planet. As we reimagine ourselves constantly, and that's what a living city does. We don't accept the status quo. We're always pushing ourselves farther and pushing us to a place where could you have possibly imagined this become a reality? And it does. We're here to witness this. So I hope you take pride in this. I'm proud of the support New York State had. Noreen knows I never say no to her, so whatever you want next. Let me just talk to my new budget director before we scare away. I want to thank my partners from the federal government, Jerry Nadler, state official Brad Hoylman, our city members, Mark Levine, our borough president, Eric Botcher. Thank you. Thank you. But thank all of you for being the enlightened ones, the ones who saw the possibility to build a treasure here. And for that, you've succeeded. So thank you for allowing me to share in this. My heart is bursting with pride when I see what we've created here and know there's so much more to do. This is a storied place. It is part of our past history. It's part of today. But my gosh, this has a bright future because of the people here who are the visionaries of today. Thank you very much.
Governor Hochul, we will do everything we can to keep making you proud. I next welcome our Deputy Mayor for Operations, Mira Joshi. She does so much all over the city to get stuff done, and as our Vice Chair, she certainly makes sure we get stuff done. Deputy Mayor.
Good afternoon, everyone. And today's not a day I thought I would regret not bringing sunglasses as much as I currently do. But thank you. I just think this is another example of why you never need to leave New York City. Everything you could ever want is right here. And this is a prime example of why there's no need to vacation when we live in this vacation wonderland of New York City. We've got a beach, we've got kayaking, we've got modern art, we've got emergency services, we've got skyscrapers, we've got the Empire State Building, and we haven't even left this little spot. It's amazing. So Mayor Adams regrets he couldn't be here today, but obviously we support everything about growing our public space footprint in the city, especially on Hudson River Park, and supported that with dollars and words. And I'm here as the Deputy Mayor of Operations because I have the good fortune of having a portfolio that also covers parks, because we look at our parks as part of our basic infrastructure here in New York. And after COVID, I think nothing is more true. Our concrete and our green space are of equal importance to our health and our well-being and our longevity. So I'm proud to celebrate this moment and this innovative project where we expanded what was already 550 acres by another 5.5, which will bring multiple smiles to young people. I have a son who's 26, so when he was young, this wasn't anything, but now this is accepted to him as part of his life, and he can't imagine it not being here. I just want to also point out, this is another example of big vision, patience, fortitude, and partnership. 25 years ago, people had an idea. City, federal, state, governments got together. Despite all the politics, stuck together. Not always pretty, but stuck together. Marriage isn't always pretty, but you try to stick it out. And including philanthropy and private industry. And today, this is what happens. If you have fortitude and endurance and continued faith and partnership, these are the joys that we get. We've transformed what used to be industrial infrastructure into a community amenity, a place of resiliency on the forefront of the nation. It's a peninsula that used to hold our Department of Sanitation's facility until it was demolished by another city agency, DDC, in 2018. It's now our first sandy shoreline beach. It provides New Yorkers with directly a way to interact with the waterfront. You can kayak, but please don't swim. There are 20 million oysters living here. Maybe there will be dolphins one day, and whales. We've got sports field, boardwalks, picnic tables, dog runs, something for everybody. And you don't have to leave New York City. It's worth celebrating. It's a robust engagement that got us here, and even robust engagement that got it built. We're proud that over 35% of the contracts that were used to build this park were with our MWBE contractors. So I really want to congratulate Hudson River Park Trust, Hudson River Park, all of the partners in making today reality, and all of the people that will get to enjoy this park and this day. And what I think is most overwhelming to me is those people that will grow up thinking this is normal for New York City, as it should be. So let this be the benchmark for our future growth. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I next welcome our Manhattan Borough President, Mark Levine. We met him years ago at the City Council, where he became our champion for his work on parks, and now we work with him pretty much every week on policy and other issues. Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you so much. We're going to be doing a press conference with the Congress member and Brad and Tony and Eric after on helicopter noise. That'll be out on the highway if you want to join us for that. I'm just kidding. Can we pause for a moment to observe that we are on a beach in Manhattan in the Hudson River? I mean, it's mind-blowing. For years, we've had to endure taunts from all four boroughs saying Manhattan didn't have a beach. Now all 5 boroughs of this city have a beautiful beach. This one's already my favorite. What do you say, guys? We got the beautiful David Hammond sculpture here, a view of the Statue of Liberty like nowhere else in the world. This is just another chapter in a 25-year history of Hudson River Park, which has to be considered one of the great public space success stories in New York City history. The transformation here over the last 25 years is extraordinary. And this, what's happening here on this peninsula, was a tough one. Don't call it a pier, by the way. We're on solid ground. This is a peninsula. 13th Avenue right there. Little piece of trivia for you. This might be the most jurisdictionally complicated piece of land in America. Owned by the state, a project funded by the city. We've got jurisdiction by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, by the State Department of Environmental Conservation, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, of course, FDNY with their marine facility here. We got state DOT across the street. I think there's even like a gas main or a water main or something under this. So we got DEC as well. On paper, this project should have taken 20 years. Somehow, they went from the first public meetings, which I think were in 2019, someone correct me if I'm wrong, to today's opening in 4 years. This is unheard of, that this project is on time, and I think I can say under budget. Why did you not brag about that, Noreen? That is phenomenal. What an achievement for the people of the city. The way you brought the community in here, the community demanded youth athletic space. We got an incredible field here. You've always been so good about listening to all the stakeholders. We are just getting going. We got Pier 97 happening next. Thank you, Governor Hochul. And then we're going to come back for an even bigger challenge. We're going to do Pier 40 next. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you so much. Enjoy.
And you'll be happy to know that concludes our ceremony. I'd like to invite our elected officials, HRPT board members, and Connie Fishman to join us as we cut the ribbon. And I'd like to ask everyone else to please stay seated for just a couple minutes more before you then enjoy the music, the ice pops, and everything else we have here for you today. Thank you for being here with us.